All right, we got Julio Vasquez, good friend of mine. I've known him since he was around 22 years old. We were doing a wrestling program with a local independent wrestling here, a promotion here in the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas, and I've seen him change up a lot. That's why I'm inviting him on the show because he's decided to, get into the bodybuilding business, and we've got Julio here with us. What's going on, Julio? How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Excited to just talk about everything about bodybuilding, wrestling, everything, whatever you
Yeah.
got for me.
Well, first of all, is Seth Rollins really hurt or no?
Here's the thing, and it's and I was telling my friend about this the other day. It's like it's probably a work because you got Gunther and CM Punk as a champion. CM Punk's gonna win it. Seth Rollins gonna cash in. Boom. There you go.
I was telling my wife the exact same thing, dude. I was
Yeah.
telling her, you know what's gonna happen? This guy's it's a work, ladies and gentlemen. When you say it's a work in wrestling, that means it's planned. It's
Hmm.
not real, right? I mean, well, it's real, but it's planned. Okay.
Exactly.
But so they're probably faking the injury for Seth Rollins because they've got a plan to do what I told my wife was CM Punk. What CM Punk did to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania,
Hmm.
where Drew McIntyre won the belt, and then within minutes, uh, the guy came in,
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest
Yeah.
came in and beat Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre only had the belt for so long.
Hmm.
The same thing's gonna happen to CM Punk, but this time it's gonna be Seth
Seth
Rollins that
Rollins. Yeah.
causes him to only have the belt for a little bit.
Exactly.
What do you think, bro?
It's gonna be something. It's gonna be a good angle, and you know what? We might get like shit on because wrestlers don't like us using terms, but we don't give a shit. Anyways, it's the yeah, dude. I mean, it's gonna be the. I think it'll be a good work, and it'll be something to hype up all the way to WrestleMania. So it'll be
But if
something
it
good.
is a work, man, that we'll never be able to believe interviews like he's been
Yeah,
doing the interview circuit. Neither
yeah,
they're like, I mean,
yeah.
they're really working the plan if it is a plan, man.
Yeah, and it's very predictable. Like wrestling during this time, the more social media and internet and all of that advances, the more the more people know what's going on, and so more predetermined.
Yeah.
So that kind of kills the fun, because a lot of like the dirt sheets and stuff like that, like put out rumors. Like for example, Penta, they were all saying Penta was gonna come. He actually signed, and it was like it was JK. They already spoiled the surprise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, seeing all these wrestlers when you were
Mhm.
following, because you had that wrestle vlog
Yeah.
that was back when I met you, and we did
Hmm.
that hair versus hair thing with the independent circuit here down
Hmm.
here with Mario Salazar and me, and well, of course I lost, and,
Yeah.
I'm still bald to this day. Uh, that was a lot of fun when we did it, man.
It was, man. My favorite part though was the Trump impersonator getting
Yeah.
the alligators.
Yeah, yeah, dude. All the way from San Antonio, man. He's still around, dude. He does that stuff. But so back then, you were a big kid. I mean,
Yeah.
and then I started, I follow you on social media,
Hmm.
and I've been noticing your journey going from, the wrestle vlogs, and all of a sudden you got into the gym, you
Hmm.
started working out, and now you're working to be a competitive bodybuilder. And I was like, I would have never ever thought of you going that route, man, when I
Yeah.
first met you. But seeing how much you've dedicated yourself to it, man, when was the moment and why was the moment that you decided to, you know what, I'm going to, you know, get into the
Hmm.
bodybuilding and the gym and change my life and make a
Yeah.
transformation? How much weight did you lose altogether?
Yeah. So back then, I believe, I was 22. I was I'm pretty sure I was over 250. But when I first started my weight loss, I was 250. Pero no, see, I was doing wrestle vlogs where, if people don't know, just a little quick backstory on wrestle vlogs. So what we did was kind of try to get exposure to the local indie scene, trying to get people to go to the shows and check them out here in the valley. Not only here in the valley, but we'll go to Laredo, Houston, Corpus, a few times in Dallas. We never touched bases to the west side of Texas, so
Hmm.
we're mostly here on the east side of the state. But yeah, we'd always do all of that. Y luego, pues, I was still going to the gym. I was going to the gym, but I wasn't really well informed about the diets and stuff like that. I was like very, very little. Pero it's just like the basic, like your carbs, your proteins, and all of that. Pero ya después, I already lost interest in wrestling, mostly in independent wrestling. A lot of things, a lot of shady stuff was going in the back, and then but people didn't want us anymore. You know, we were like, at some point we were the talk of the town. We're like, all right, fuck you guys. Like, we don't need you guys. Uh, and it sucked because I would always put like my money,
Yeah.
my time, y todo eso,
It
and I
was
was
your
like, yeah,
passion.
it was my passion.
And
Yeah.
it was fun while it lasted, and it was
Uh-huh.
it was an experience.
Yeah,
So,
it was a good experience. It left
uh-huh.
a mark on people, and
And you make good
yeah,
friends, and and you meet good
exactly.
people, and then shit
Yeah,
falls apart sometimes. And
yeah. So,
but hey, look at where you're at now, dude.
see,
It was maybe it was like a God thing, whatever, where
exactly.
they wanted you
Yes.
to become the person you are right now.
Yeah. So then, pues hice quit eso de Wrestle Vlogs, y luego pues I was just kind of more into my health, and the person that helped me out first is my friend Brian Peralta. Shout out to Brian. He's been my friend for about more than 15 years. He started first with the bodybuilding and becoming a trainer. And then from there, I wanted to follow his footsteps. I'm like, hey, man, like, I want to start losing weight. He gave me his program and whatnot. And I was weighing, and this was when I started this. This was around 2023, February 2023. I was starting at 250. Y luego, pues, pasó meses, and then around the summer, I was already weighing like 200 pounds.
So 3 months it took you to lose 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because there's a different type of weight loss. Some of it is just weight loss.
Yeah.
You lose muscle, you lose fat,
Hmm.
and you just thin out. And it's still healthy, but it's not as healthy as doing the transformation where you just lose body fat and you gain muscle. There's like
Yeah.
that's a very tricky situation where you get the BMI, it's called the body mass index,
Yes.
and it tells you the amount of fat your body has, and then the whole idea is to diet, but just lose the fat, don't lose the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes a
Exactly.
very interesting balance. Is that how did you do that, or did you just lose muscle and fat, and then you decided to build up?
Yeah, so it was just more of like I was already heavy, person with heavy muscle. I already in muscle. I had like about 100 pounds of muscle. At some point, it decreased down, but as well the fat decreased down. But it was more of the maintenance of the muscle. Then I lowered on body fat. What I did was a low carb diet. Pues all I ate was I was always low on carbs. I didn't really eat that much cereal, that much flour. So a lot of the foods
Yeah.
that us Mexicans like, I
Yeah.
had to step
Here in the
aside. Yeah.
956, a low carb diet is voy a dejar las tortillas en la
Ajá.
soda y el pan dulce y el
Ajá.
pan.
Yeah, todo eso, todo eso.
Yeah.
So es lo que hice, and then pues I increased my protein intake. Cardio, I did a lot of cardio. I put
Mhm.
work in the gym, and all of that, man, and all that came together. Y was I lost those 50 pounds. Y luego pues I went for more after that, so
See.
it was pretty
When
challenging.
you were losing weight, were you at 6 meals a day? Because like if you want to lose fat
Hmm.
and gain muscle, you got to keep the metabolism going, and it's all about the calorie intake and the amount of
Yeah.
carbs and the amount of protein. So it's a science. You got to weigh some of the food and all that. But when you were losing those 50 pounds, were you already in the gym? You were working out. You were following a 6 meal plan, or how was that?
Yeah, it was more of a formula plan. It was one
Okay.
snack. It was just mostly like a heavy breakfast, y luego en el lunch ya más ligero,
Hmm.
or usually like a pre or post workout meal and stuff like
There you
that,
go.
or something I do it a lot. It's been helping me out since last year when I first started competing. I fast in the mornings. I do fasted cardio, so your body starts. Not only that, but what helps me out is the water. I drink a lot of water, and then pues my energy drink or coffee, just so I can keep the stomach somewhat full. And then when I start working out or doing exercise or doing cardio, my mind just forgets that it's hungry.
Hmm.
And then pues that's how I fast in the mornings, and then after that pues I gotta eat in order to keep the energy during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you start the morning with? Like right now,
Mm.
you're competing. You're gonna compete in a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
right? So you're towards the end where you have to start depleting a lot of carbs
Mm-hmm.
and start keeping the protein intake. But the carbs is what keeps your muscles hard and
Mm-hmm.
round and stuff like that. How are you doing it for energy and stuff like that?
Yeah, so usually for energy, but I still take a little bit of carbs, but not per se like like an overload. So I kind of track everything on an app and everything. And weigh the food. Weighing the food is very important. Not a lot of people know about that, weighing the food and measuring your food. Y luego, pues for energy, pues I'm doing more of like the coffee or energy drinks right now. Pero ya que sea a peak week, it's a lot harder. So a lot of people know what peak week is. It's when you pues really go really low on carbs, really low on fat. You feel like very depleted, and you got to eat your food without seasoning, without salt, without any artificial
Yeah,
sweeteners.
dude, it's no fun.
Sucks. Yeah, it sucks, man. Like the first time I did it, I was like, man, like I didn't want to do anything because you feel weak. You feel weak. You don't want to do anything. And at that
It
time,
pushes you to
yeah,
give up, dude, and you have
exactly,
to really be.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
didn't really like rest because about around that time I was working at Crunch in Brownsville. Shout out to everybody over there. And I was working at Walmart. I was having two jobs. Acabé aquí. All right, go to the other job. Y boom, boom, boom. Y no acaba y and like bad. So all I had was the water. It was helping me out because I had to, like in the beginning of the peak week, I had to overload the water 2 gallons a day for 2 or 3 days. Y luego bajas un gallon, half a gallon, and then if you look good, you can still drink water. If not, then no puedes tomar nada.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the maña from there.
Yeah. Where's this next event that you're gonna compete in? Where's that at?
Okay, so the first show that I have is the Lila Brada Classic.
Uh-huh.
That one's gonna be in Houston. That's gonna be in 11 days. That's gonna be in August the 2nd. So we
Is
have,
that a national? So because they have those nationals where you go in there and it moves you towards being a national. It's a national title at a state, right?
yeah, it's this one is a national qualifier.
Ándale.
So how it works, not a lot of people know, is that there's two. It's the MPC, which is the amateur leagues, and then you have the IFBB Pro. So that one's just more for the pros and whatnot. So the MPC, you're an amateur, you compete, and I believe it's if you compete in open, you're the top two. You go to nationals. For nationals, you go against everybody that qualified for nationals. The good thing about it is that you either do that year's nationals or you do next year's. So that's how they have it. And once you win a nationals, you get your pro card, and that's how you become
Yeah.
a pro bodybuilder.
Yeah, and then when you get that pro card, there's no having two jobs and being and competing. You have to
Yeah.
just dedicate yourself to competing because those other guys you go up against, that's all they do.
Exactly.
They wake up and they sleep and they train and that's it and eat. That's all they do. I follow like Nick Walker and Chadi Hupan or Hadi Chupan. There we go. And a lot of other, bodybuilders. And I'm fascinated when I follow a day of eating. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like the food they eat, their intake, they weigh stuff. And it doesn't seem like my wife sees it and she goes, it's depressing, They don't have a life.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it is. Let me tell you like a funny little story. And when I was prepping, I was not dating this girl, but I was meeting this girl, and we went to IHOP, and it was like todo lo que está comiendo yo era egg whites. Dije, oh, let me get egg whites. Y me mira, I was like, that looks depressing. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's what I gotta eat,
Okay, let me
Yeah.
add a little carrot stick to it on the side, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
a little salad o algo. Pero no, yo con mis egg whites, bien gustoso,
Yeah.
It's, and then, pues, I just sprinkled some salsa, and then, pues, para que sea un poquito
Little
mejor un sabor.
condiment, yeah. Una salsita,
So-
unos veggies and stuff like
Sí.
that. Yeah, you have to be creative when you're doing this kind of stuff, That
Mm-hmm.
you got egg whites where you can add some mushrooms, you can add some asparagus. That's what I do, and some
Yeah.
spinach, and you put it all together. Maybe a little half a slab of cheese, just to boom, 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 and it tastes good, and it doesn't. But like you said, the peak week and all those days, I mean,
Yeah.
none of that.
None of that. You
It's
gotta
just
go, like,
oatmeal dry, no
Yeah.
sugar, no. Do you use Splenda on that stuff or no?
on mi coffee, sí.
Yeah.
Pero not on peak week, of course. You can't use any artificial sweeteners.
No.
Nada. So,
Uh, Yeah.
el café lo tengo que tomar black coffee when
Sí.
it comes to that.
And then your oatmeal, que le echas, about honey. Honey has some carbs as well.
Yeah. I usually don't do much oatmeal, but when I do, I usually, pues, I usually do it with the pancakes. O si no, pues...
Cream
lo
of
más-
rice. You do any of that?
Nah, not
or,
really.
Or baby rice, the rice. And I've seen some
Yeah.
bodybuilders using that Gerber's rice for the babies
Sí.
for the milk.
We have another competitor that's with us, over there at Crunch, that he does that a lot. He said, no, que, And I think there was one day that there was like a shortage of that.
Uh-huh.
Y luego, he was like, hey, ayúdame a encontrar esto. I'm like, dude, I don't even know if they still have it. And I had to help him out, go around
Yeah.
the stores to go get all that. Pero, no, fíjate, I'm not really that exotic on like, oh, pues uso, pues ese rice, lo que sea. I sometimes go basic, or sometimes, do my own recipes, or kind of like get recipes from my coach.
Mm-hmm.
A good one was, he calls it the low carb chicken nachos. So here's a little secret. So what you do is you buy the tostadas from HEB.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've seen the ones that are in bakery.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those are low carb. Each serving has 9 grams of carbs. So agarras eso, you put in a serving, you put mozzarella cheese, 1 serving mozzarella cheese, and then you put your chicken.
Yeah.
Y ahí está, tu low carb nacho.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And nothing, in not a big plate, just
exactly.
just a serving.
Yeah, just a serving.
It's a serving.
Yeah, you don't always gotta eat your broccoli and rice and
Uh-huh.
chicken and rice, but you gotta be creative, como tú dices. You
Yeah,
always gotta
dude, you
mix it
do.
around.
I mean,
Yeah.
I learned a lot from some of those bodybuilders when I
Mhm.
watch them cook.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I didn't know you could do that with the egg whites.
Yeah.
Antes, dude, before when I first started, era puro boiled egg. Güey, esto es lo que estaba comiendo.
Sí.
Little did I know you could cook like the egg omelet with egg
Uh-huh.
white liquids, and I'm like,
Yes.
and then I started seeing like Ronnie Coleman with these big old jugs of eggology and stuff, and I was like, wow, you know
Yeah.
what? So little by, and then before when I first started back in the late '90s, that I started going to the gym and doing all that stuff.
Mm.
There was no whey protein, banana flavor, none
Nada.
of that. It was ugly. You
Yeah.
had to fix it up, bro. So, what protein are you using right now, for your recovery shakes?
So right now, I mean, I usually take any that are like there and es por decir. Like, pues ahí está uno en el gym, I'll take whatever there is at the gym. I usually
What
take.
brand do you usually? What's your go-to brand though? Like,
Usually my go-to brand, I would say the Lean Body brand.
okay,
Ironically, the Little Brother company
yeah,
owned.
it's been around a long time.
It has
Yeah.
been. So it's usually that one, or si no, the one I'm liking right now is the Raw, the one that Chris bumps it
Okay.
is more with there. Pero powder wise, I would go with an Isoflex.
Isoflex.
Isoflex sounds pretty good.
You don't try any 5% nutrition, none of that stuff, like
No, I
no.
don't really try that, pero like I'll look more into it. Ya que esté in off season, well, right now I'm gonna do those 2 shows y luego pues after that was off season y pues a lo que.
Once you start
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
up and start really like, yeah, you can get sponsorship and then you can supply because that comes in handy cuando te dan el protein y todo eso,
Sí.
carnal, porque está caro ese pedo,
See,
bro.
bodybuilding is not
It's
cheap.
expensive,
It's
dude.
expensive.
You had that 2
Yeah.
jobs handling it. Tell me
Yeah.
about the supplements you're taking. We were talking about it earlier. You take some good supplements for your
Yeah.
body, ¿verdad? For your liver and
Sí.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so to detoxify liver, you have milk tussle. So
Okay.
milk tussle, that one usually take 1 or 2 a day, 1 in the morning y luego 1 in la tarde. Usually some come with like 1,000 milligrams, 500 milligrams, depending on the strength that you want it with. But it does come in handy because let's say you have a high intake of your protein, y luego
Your liver's overworking.
yeah, overworking, so it detoxifies it. As well, another thing I take is berberine. I think it's called in English. That one helps you with your bad cholesterol. It lowers down your bad cholesterol, your sugar levels, and your fat lipids as well. It controls it down. Same thing. Take 1 in the morning and then 1 at night. Another one is turmeric. Turmeric, we spoke earlier. It helps you with your joints, your bones. Not only that, but it helps you with the bloatingness. It helps you with the bloatingness away. And then
And when you do a lot of
yeah,
protein shakes, you get bloated and stuff.
exactly,
And, yeah,
con
you
la
gotta-
leche y todo.
and all that protein, right?
Yeah, and then you got ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, like let's say you're going like mad crazy in the gym and you can't sleep, just take the pill or the gummies. Right now I'm usually taking ashwagandha with melatonin. It helps you go to sleep. So it calms you down and it pues ya te pone a dormir con el melatonin. So that one's pretty good. As well as taking pre-workout. I'm actually sponsored by a supplement brand here in the Rio Grande Valley. I don't know if you can see in the
Órale.
let me show
Alpha
you.
Mindset.
Alpha Mindset supplements. So
Where are they out of?
they're out here in McAllen.
Okay.
Yeah. So his
They've
his
got
name
a
is-
pre-workout?
Yeah, they have 2 pre-workouts. The guy's name is Jorge. Shout out to Jorge. Shout out to Alpha Mind supplements.
Does it make your skin tingle?
Not really. So this one's pretty good.
Hmm.
It doesn't really have that tingly side effects. It doesn't really have
I used to
the
love
high
that tingly
stim.
side effect, by
Yeah, I love it too. And don't worry, they're gonna get some of that soon.
oh, I don't know,
Pero
man.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pero right now is they just started off last year. I met Jorge actually in when I was getting ready for the RGB Classic. They had seminars and he
Hmm.
was there, and he had a very exotic flavor of pre workout. It was Mexican candy. So you know the lollipops, los que traen la sandía con el
Sí, sí,
chilito?
sí, sí.
He had that flavor pre workout. Y
Wow.
dije, you know what, let me try it. It tasted like the legit thing.
Yeah.
It was really good. So I bought a tub and then we kept in touch, helped him promote. He go, hey man, like you wanna can we sponsor you? He's like, dude, of course, man. Like I've been there since day one since you started promoting. So ya lleva un año, he has that one, and then he just launched creatine about a month ago. And then this coming week we're launching already este blue raspberry lemonade
Hmm.
for the pre-workout. So ahí va poco a poco.
Yeah.
Little, we get that. Y luego, pues, of course, you got to support anything that's here in the valley.
See.
Eso es lo bueno.
Do you
So,
take any type of glucosamine for the joints? Any type of citrulline, arginine, recovery stuff?
not really, but I should.
Yeah.
I should, porque, pues, I mean, ya me estoy haciendo viejo.
Put it in a
Yeah.
gallon of water. Y
Uh-huh.
échale chingo de glutamine y arginine and get some recovery stuff, man,
See,
because that's
because
the most important part.
recovery is important. Your aminos. You got to take
Especially
care
if
of
you're
your
beating
aminos.
up your body every day. Do you work
Yeah.
out every day or just
Every day.
every day?
Every day.
What time do you usually work out?
So it depends because I work at a gym at
Uh-huh.
Crunch Fitness in Boca
So
Chica.
it's
in
never
Brownsville.
the same
Yeah.
day? I mean, the same time?
Not really.
That's good.
Yeah, because
'Cause your body never
yeah.
figures it out.
Exactly. So there's times where I'm able to work out in the morning. There's times where I'm able to work out at night,
Uh-huh.
in noon. So I'm always like hopping around and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Not only
'cause
that, but I try to use different routines or different machines.
Mhm.
So I usually go around different gyms to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do cardio? A lot of cardio?
A lot of cardio right now. I'm on an hour of cardio. I
Mhm.
got to do an hour of cardio at least every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And do you do that in the morning as soon as you wake up? They say that's the best time to burn fat and stuff.
Yeah, like this morning I did it fasting. So I had a group session at 5 and then hola pum. It's just half an hour cardio and then you finish your half an hour
Yeah.
later on. So es lo
Yeah.
que hice.
And stretching, do you do a lot of stretching or not much? Or
Fíjate that like when it comes to upper body, no, but I just started doing it. I do a lot of stretching on my legs. Because there was an incident one time where I just stretched in chingas and I started squatting and then like my hamstring just pulled.
uh-huh.
Y dije, no, hombre, like I was stretching like I got humbled.
Dude, stretching is very important. You need to at
Yes.
least put. I have a video that I'm going to share with you with John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing Celtic workouts with Sheamus. You know,
Yeah.
that's an awesome channel,
Mm-hmm.
and he works out with he works out with the wrestlers. And the one I saved out of all of them was the one with John Cena because they go through a whole stretching routine.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing stretching, emulating that. Y se lo está llevando la chingada a
Sí.
Sheamus, güey. And cuando están stretching,
Mhm.
like he is
Yeah, dude.
sweating, looking at the camera. And then, pues, Cena bien fresco, carnal, ¿entiendes la onda?
Mhm.
And so I started doing it. I started emulating it. I would do, 15, 20 minutes of cardio
Mhm.
and then about 20 minutes of stretching. And let me tell you, man, and I'm 58 years old, so, I really need the stretching at my
Yeah.
age. But, man, I felt amazing every day. And
Yeah, man.
my energy came up. And then I do some weights, I do the cardio, then do
Mhm.
the stretching, and then I do some weights. I'll work on some chest and myself. I never have like when I don't think of what I'm gonna do until I get to the gym.
Yeah.
Because if I have Mondays I'm gonna do this, Tuesdays I'm gonna do that, Wednesdays, and then you do that and you stay in that routine
Mhm.
so long that your body adjusts and it stops growing. It prepares, it adjusts.
Mhm.
So you need to be changing it up. It's like the meals as well.
Exactly. Like a bodybuilder I look up to, Honda Somebody. He said the same thing. You gotta trick around your body and your workouts. You gotta work out different. Like you say, a lot of people do the typical push, which is chest, shoulders, and triceps.
Mhm.
He's like, well, you can do like chest, and then you can do biceps, and then do abs. Kind of mess around with it. That's well, not only on your lifting, but on your meals, on your food, and your supplementation. You gotta go like, let's say you go on a day that usually low carb, high carb that day, and then the days you high carb, low carb that day.
Mhm.
Kind of like keep it keep your body guessing.
Yeah.
That's the thing you gotta
Yeah, we
do.
were talking earlier about like the breakfast. You do a cup of egg whites with some spinach and asparagus,
Hmm.
and then you do a cup of oatmeal, and you do that for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then after 3 weeks, okay, we're gonna go to half a cup of oatmeal
Yeah.
and a cup of you stay with a cup of protein because obviously you
Yeah.
need that to recover your muscles, but that half a cup of oatmeal that you're not putting in your body, which is carbs, your body's like, where the hell is it?
Yes.
This isn't what you usually give us. So then they go to your fat
Hmm.
and it starts tearing off your fat and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
and
there's it's a science, ladies and gentlemen. And, you have to stay active if you ever want to change your life and lose some weight. A lot of people just want to do it with drugs or, the injections and then, or they diet. But
hmm
once you're off the diet, once you're off the injections, if you never started an active lifestyle like walking 3 times a
hmm
week or doing some cardio and starting to work that metabolism up, you'll go right back to where you were before you started the injections and the diet. So it's always that's the lifestyle change that you have to do. You have to start working out. You have to start doing something active.
hmm
Let's go with gear, man. Are you doing any gear for? Because I mean, that's prevalent in this business, and I've been in it. I'm on testosterone
hmm
therapy. It's therapeutic. Um, but a lot of bodybuilders they tend to go that route, to get that edge. And I
hmm
noticed you were mentioning that you're taking a supplement that lowers your cholesterol and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And sometimes when you're on gear,
hmm
you have to watch your cholesterol
Exactly.
levels because they end up going up,
hmm
and to where your blood pressure can also start going up as
hmm
well. So you have to be very careful and constantly be checking your vitals,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I don't really. This is whoever gets to watch this gets the privilege to hear this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually on test as well.
Okay.
No más que sí, como tú dices, you gotta get your blood work done right before you even start it. You even think about it.
Hmm.
You gotta get your blood work done. Check your cholesterols, all of that. That's what I did. Y pues de ahí, pues you gotta know if you need more, need less. You gotta go back to get your results, depending on how you do your show y así. I knew this guy from the gym. He was telling me like, no, he's on test and he's on trend, but he was like, no way, I'm all feeling like paniqueado and stuff like that. It's because you gotta know how much not test trend you're taking,
Hmm.
because you just can't blast trend all the way because it's gonna affect you wrong. It's always very very
You
little
have to
dosages.
do it
Yeah,
under a physician's care, I would
exactly.
say,
Yeah.
because I mean, we're the type of people, if you're into the bodybuilding thing,
hmm
you want more and more and
Exactly.
more. It becomes like a drug
The
to us,
chiflas. Yeah.
and you start seeing
hmm
yourself and you're like, whoa, I'm getting there, and you
Yeah.
just want to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then sometimes you end up making some wrong decisions because your mind is what's telling
hmm
you that you need more and more and more,
Exactly.
and it can get dangerous,
Yes.
your prostate, all kinds of
hmm
things if you're not doing it under a physician's care.
It gets out of control.
Uh-huh.
Not only that, I only recommend people to take test one who need it, right? But like if someone's using it for recreational, it's like, oh, but better be mejor for me. Don't take it. Don't even consider taking it until you actually need it. And you get your blood work, and your
Mm-hmm.
blood work shows like, okay, shit, I need test. Take it. But if you're into the bodybuilding, same thing. Test yourself out. Get your blood work, check your cholesterol. Want to know how much you actually need instead of just blasting just random. Here,
There's
yeah.
also some over the counter testosterone boosters that
Yes.
people can use as well,
hmm
which isn't as good as getting the injections and
Yeah.
all that stuff, but it still helps out. I tell people those over because they're the older we get, the
hmm
more testosterone we lose.
Yes.
So obviously we have to go in there and check our testosterone levels,
hmm
and if we're below the level, then we just need enough to bring it back up to a
Yeah.
therapeutic level, safe level.
hmm
And I would tell people that are like 50, 55, I said, okay, go get your test levels. They're, no, but I'm taking this over the counter supplement. I said, dude, that's good for people that have a decent
Yeah.
testosterone level and they just
You
need
want
that
to
little
boost.
extra boost
Yes.
to,
That's why it's named Test Booster.
uh
Yeah.
huh, yeah,
So
yeah.
I actually started with Test Boosters when I started went into like the body and stuff like that. It was all natural. So I started with the Test Boosters, the over counter, the Nugenics y todo eso. Y fíjate, sí me cayó bien. It gave you a good effect. But same thing whenever you're taking your test boosters. Shit, even when you're taking SARMs, I don't recommend SARMs to begin with.
Hmm.
But when you're taking your test boosters, también you gotta watch out how much you're taking and
Hmm.
stuff like that. You don't want to go more than what it should.
Yeah, and it cycles too.
Mm,
You have to
yeah.
get off of it, clean your body out, drain it, like hydrate it and wash it out,
Yeah.
and then because some people just can't get off of it, man, because
Exactly.
it's a buzz, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta take it and take a post psychotherapy,
Yeah.
low.
Do they do when you compete? Do they test for anything? What are they testing for right now? If you want to compete?
So like let's say you're doing an random NPC show. They don't really test you. They could get you anybody that's in chance or natural.
Hmm.
Now when it comes to the testing part, that's if you're gonna do just a natural show. So that's what I've been seeing more here in the state is that they're pushing more of the natural shows.
Yeah.
So anybody that's doing a natural show, then you're gonna have to like consent for them to get tested.
Yeah.
So that's the thing for that. Pero no, like you don't really get tested or anything like that if you're just doing a general
Yeah.
show.
Man,
Mhm.
I don't think that a natural show is fair
Yeah.
because there's people that just have the genetics and the DNA and they have that extra advantage over people that don't have that.
Exactly.
And you have to give some sort of credit to the people that, even though they use a few supplements here and there and some gear and all that,
Mhm.
but, do it in a safe, proper way and then put in the work and the
Exactly.
diet. You got to give them some sort of, acknowledgement as well,
Yeah.
man, because that's a lot tougher than somebody that's natural, that's got it in them,
Mhm.
There's some dudes that, chinga, they never work out. Oye, vato, tan bien cut, güey, entiendes la onda?
See.
And so those guys can easily compete. I mean, but
Yeah.
what about us,
Exactly. What about us that need a little help?
I'll go to the
Yeah.
unnatural competition. But no, but Julio, I appreciate you coming up and
Yeah, man.
and opening up about your journey with me here.
Yeah.
And this stuff fascinates me, and I wish you lots of luck, bro. And I'm following you. And make sure we get together again after your competitions. You have one
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah, so around next week, 11 days out, the Lila Brada Classic in Houston, Texas, August 2nd. And then 4 weeks after that, I have the RGV Classic in McAllen, Texas, which
Okay.
I would like for you to check out because there's even IFBB pros out
Yeah.
there. So it's a pretty fun show. You get to see. Let me just tell you a real quick story where my mom went one time, and you know how there's like the woman bodybuilders.
Uh huh.
She was like, "Mira las mamadas." I know, mom. But yes, there's mamadas.
Uh huh.
There's a lot of like you get fascinated by the physiques of everybody.
It's
So
sometimes it's
yeah,
like it's unbelievable.
yeah,
Like when they bring down a guest poser that's the
hmm,
heavyweight guys.
yeah.
Like what? Like
It throws you off.
how can they get? And if like you just want to touch them to see how the
Yeah,
freaking how they feel, bro,
yeah,
because they're nothing but skin on muscle. You know.
exactly.
Are you gonna take any type of diuretic to like drain your? Because I remember they used to have pills
Uh huh.
that you would take to deplete your body from as much water as possible. So on the day you compete, you're totally dry.
Yeah, I gotta check that on with my coach, of course. So we gotta. Well, usually like this, like when I did it last season, I didn't really need anything. I was just already kind of like knew my cue with the waters and stuff like that and all of that. So I didn't really need
Because
anything.
the
Like,
conditioning is
yeah,
very important.
the
Yeah.
condition. What helped that is cardio, porque ya el cardio pues, te baja el agua más.
See.
So that's what kind of helps out
Yeah.
instead of me taking anything of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you take those strong diuretics, man, it's hard on your kidneys too, dude. You got to be
Yes.
careful with that, man.
Yes.
It's dangerous and it's a very interesting science. You have to know what you're doing, and you can't just go in there and do, because a lot of bodybuilders, and we've seen them, they die very young, and
Yeah.
so they have to be very careful. But man, we wish you the best of luck, Julio, and
Thanks,
we'll be
man.
seeing you, man. We'll be
Yeah.
following you on social. Follow him
For
on
sure.
social media, ladies and gentlemen. Follow his
Yeah.
journey, and we'll see how it goes. And then we'll also look up Lila Brada's classic on YouTube and check out. Maybe it'll be on on YouTube that we can see the show.
Yeah, follow me on at Julio's Lifts as well. I'm looking for sponsors to help me out on these shows because they're not cheap. So if anyone wants to help out, reach out to me on Instagram at Julio Lifts. And if you need training in the Brownsville area here in the Valley, come check us out at Crunch Fitness in Brownsville by Boca Chica. I'm there training as well. So you want to look like me, come on by.
Órale. Hey, all right. Thanks a lot, Julio. Have
Yeah.
a good one, bro.
Thank you, bro.